Hello friends, thank you all so much for coming back to craft with me today, and welcome if you're new here. My name is Alyssa. Today we're making a fun little mini album, and I'm going to be using this paper pad which I found at Walmart actually. And I loved all of these floral prints. They even have some fruits in there, and this is some more at the bottom, and this is called Sunny Days. The only thing with this paper pad is that the paper is only 67 pounds, so it's pretty thin. So because of that, I just layered it on top of some heavier cardstock. As you can see, there's some yellow cardstock in the background. This is my cover that says Making Memories. So springy, right? With the bees and the flowers. And then we'll open it up, and this is actually a side pocket here, which says sometimes you have to take chances. Then I have Welcome Spring, cute little journaling card. And then over here, I just have this small little flap, and I did leave it so that you could flip it out, but I've got some writing spaces all over here, but you could glue this down to create maybe a side pocket. You could glue the bottom down and just have a tuck spot, or I did in my other page in the back, I did two small pockets, which I'll show you when we get to that. And then in the middle here, I've got some writing space, put some flowers here because I thought a photo would go nicely there. And then here are the two pockets. So I added some flowers there and just some little cards to journal on. And then over on this side, this is the last page. I have a sticker that says grow through what you go through. And I added some more flowers down below, and then there's just one last side pocket. So I've got a journaling card there with some strawberries. So really fun project for single-sided paper again. Even the thinner papers that they're like printer paper basically. So there's the back. But just a fun little mini album that we can create and store some photos and memories. So go ahead and grab some paper and we can create one together. So let's start off with our solid colored cardstock. I'm not even sure the weight of this, but it's definitely heavier weight than the 67-pound paper. But for the cover here, it's just a 10-inch wide by 6 1/4 tall piece of plain cardstock. And we're just going to fold it in half at the 10-inch side. Or you can go ahead and score. So I'll line this up at 10. And then I will score right down the middle at 5. And then just fold this right in half. And then we're going to just set that piece to the side, and we're going to grab two more pieces of our cardstock. And these are just going to be 12 inches wide by 6 inches tall. So I have two of these. These are going to be the inside pages of our album. And we're going to just hold them at the 12-inch side. And I'm going to score at 4 3/4 and 9 1/2. So 4 3/4, 9 1/2. And we're going to do the same thing to our other paper as well. So I'll bring back this second sheet. And we'll score at 4 3/4 and 9 1/2. So I'm actually going to set these two pages aside for now, and I'll show you how to fold those. But first I'm going to go back to my cover here, and I'm going to just pick out some paper to cover the front and the back. So for that, Again, I'm using that same paper pad from Walmart. So I have 2 sheets here that are 4 3/4 wide by 6 inches tall for my covers. And I'm just going to glue them to my cardstock. So here I've already put a little sentiment for my cover, happy little moments, and I added a strawberry too. So I'm simply just going to glue those right to the front and the back. And I'm going to try to spread out my glue a bit as well. Just so you don't see the glue. And I'll use my little spatula here to kind of flatten that out. Aren't these strawberries so cute though? Probably shouldn't be working on my scoreboard either, but there's that, and I'll do the same thing here for the back. Okay, so that is our cover all set, and we're going to flip it to the inside now. And then I'll show you how I'm going to fold my papers. So let's start with this one. We're actually going to flip it so that the small flap here is on the right, and we're going to fold that in, and then the next score line we're also folding over. Now this portion here, we're pretty much going to glue onto this side to create a side pocket, but before I glue it down, I'm going to just cover everything up with my printed paper. But that's how we're going to fold that side. And then for our other page here, it's going to be the same thing, but like the opposite way. So our little strip's going to be here on the left now, and we can fold that in. And then the next score line we can fold over as well. And of course, that's just going to be glued onto this side here. So it'll open like this, and we'll have another side pocket. You can also take your little flaps and put them this way too if you want to do that. But I'm just going to keep it the same way that I did my first one. So I'm going to take this one, my first page here, and I'm just going to cover up all of the blank spaces. So for these pages, I just have sheets that are 4.5 inches wide by 5 3/4 of an inch tall. And I have 6 of them. So they'll just cover up our page like this. Of course, they'll leave another little border. And then for the little flap here, you'll need a 2 1/4 inch wide by 5 3/4 of an inch tall little strip. So I have 2 of them. You could do 4 if you want to cover both sides, but maybe you want to do a pocket or something like that. So I just have 2. So I'll stick both of these here, but I'm basically just going to glue my printed paper on top, so I might fast forward this part as well. Okay, so I covered up this first. Now I'm going to grab my 2-inch punch, and I'm going to notch the side here. Okay, so I notched that because that's going to be our little side pocket. And let me just bring back my cover here. So we're going to, again, glue just this panel onto the inside. So I'm going to flip that over and glue my 3 edges. And then we can just center this onto this left side here. Oh, what's the matter? You want to craft too? All right, and then we'll just let this dry, but we'll get that side pocket there, our little flip out page. And this part here that's blank, I'm gonna cover with sticky notes, like how I did with my first one. So there's that. And then we can go ahead and cover up this second page here. So let me fast forward again so you're not too bored. All right, now here we're gonna do our notch on this panel and do the same thing and just glue this onto the other side of our album. So I will bring this back and that's gonna go on this side. So you can just center it there. All right, and then for this flap, I created 2 little pockets, so I'm gonna do the same thing. So here I'm just gonna glue the bottom and then the top, and I'm just gonna eyeball the middle and just pop a line of glue right down the middle as well. And I'll just take my 1-inch punch and do some notches here. And I'll just bring those over. All right, so we're all set with those, and that is the whole album. And now we can decorate, add some photos, and all of that fun stuff. So my cover's already done. Hooray. So let's just move on to the inside. And oh, actually we have a side pocket there. So I'm just going to put this little to-do card in there. And I'm actually going to flip it this way just so you can kind of spot it from the outside like that. I mean, you don't really see much of it, but oh no, little man's getting cranky. Okay, let me just quickly grab what I put aside ahead of time. So I have this quote of the day. You could write a cute little sentiment there. And then I just put this together. It says dream, added some flowers there, and I was gonna stick that over here. And then some sticky notes I was gonna put over here. So let me grab those. I have this pack of sticky notes, which I got from a store called Ollie's a very long time ago. So I'm gonna pick a few of those. Maybe this one. This one. And then this one will go in the middle. And then I will have to pause and get a cranky baby. Okay, let me just glue this down. Although, wouldn't a photo go nicely there? But I really like this little dream circle that I made. So maybe you can write some dreams over here. Quote of the day is going to go over here. Normally I would glue these down entirely, but I'm just trying to get this done. All right, over here I have a journaling card and a little piece that says notes. Maybe I'll just do something like this. And I'll partially glue this one. I mean, even maybe I'll stick it down here because I could put a smaller photo up top or something like that. All right, moving on to my last few pages for my little pockets here. I just have some smaller little cards. This one says most important, 1, 2, 3, and then this one I just added a little watermelon to. But you could put some cute little tags in there or whatever you like. And then over here, I am just gonna leave the watermelons alone for now, and I'm gonna just put this little floating pocket into my side pocket. And I just have this beautiful paper here. I didn't really know what to do with it quite yet. Maybe use it as a journaling card or a photo mat, but just to have something in there. And I thought it went well with this paper too. And I added some wooden hearts to the pocket. So I'll stick that in here and then that'll complete our mini album. And then I have a little baby to take care of. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial and this fun little mini album. I just love this paper pad and all the fruits and florals that it had, of course, as well. So I thank you guys so much for joining me today. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more crafty fun and inspiration, and leave me a comment down below. I'll see you all soon in my next one, so happy crafting and huge hugs!